Hello, hello, hello. I am Indigo Sage, an awakened soul, and I am inviting you to check out my website where I blog about different spiritual topics. There's humor, there's love, there's light, and I even have a post about getting angry and being angry. And that post is not even about, like, oh, how should you deal with anger? That post is about giving yourself permission to be angry. So there's a little bit of everything on that website. And again, that is unapologeticallysage.com. You can also find Unapologetically Sage on Facebook as well as Instagram. So, again, welcome to your empowerment message from your guardian angels. I've meditated, shuffled, and channeled your empowerment message off camera because you don't have to watch me make the pearl so long as I deliver your pearl of wisdom. For unique insights on spiritual journeys, check out the #1 blog spot featuring spiritual awakening discussions at unapologeticallysage.com. All decks used will be in the description box below, along with other valuable information and links. As always, if this message resonates with you, you know exactly what to do. Click like and subscribe. Now, this message is a special variation. This message is your love forecast. Okay, so it's an empowerment message for your romantic love situation or relationship or situationship, however you want to describe it. All right, so let's begin to sage this out. So, your love forecast is snowstorm. Okay, so hopefully, I believe this is the fourth one that I've done, fourth or fifth. Okay, so hopefully you've checked out the previous one so you kind of know how this works when I call it your love forecast. This love forecast is coming up as a snowstorm. Okay, you leave, they react. Truthful relationship assessment. And it's funny because I went back and forth because I was putting truthful relationship assessment needed. And then I went ahead and took it off because I feel like you've done that. I feel like there's like 50% of you guys listening who has done it already. And then like the other 50%, you're thinking about it and you're like in the process of doing it. So for the ones that did it already, I took off the word relationship assessment needed. Um, so let's go ahead and start this out. Also, let me say this before we officially begin. The entire time I was channeling this message, and also let me tell you right now, heads up, this is probably going to be an hour long, okay, because I was given a lot of information with a lot of detail. Towards the end, we will break down the cards with piece by piece with the imagery, okay? Because I am a reader who uses intuition and imagery over, okay, over the guidebooks. And then some decks that I use, they don't even come with a guidebook, okay? So so just bear with me. And, if you're used to someone reading the guidebook word for word and that's what you stick to and that's what you like, you were led here just to show you a different way that it can be done. Okay, so I may not be a traditional tarot reader, but then again, who is? Then again, what is normal? Okay, so as I was saying, during the entire time I was channeling this message, there was music playing in my mind, which is not anything new. A lot of tarot readers have music that plays as they channel the message. And music and songs are a good way to relate to people. So this one was an album by Erica Badu, and that album is called Mama's Gun. And the specific songs, there were three specific songs that kept playing over and over until I finally just started playing it myself. I have it in my music library anyway. And the first one was Green Eyes, and that like was on repeat in my head for like a long while. And then there was Time's a Wastin', and then there was Bag Lady. Okay, so just as I suggest in all of my videos when songs are there, I suggest that you don't have to listen to the music itself, because that may not be your jam. That may not be, how you get down with music. That may be out of your um genre, or however you say that. But what you could at least do is look at the lyrics, read the lyrics. Anytime I suggest a song, please know you don't have to listen to it with the music. You can just look it up for the lyrics and read the lyrics, okay? Because that's something I like to do anyway. Whenever a song is suggested to me, I like to read the lyrics. That's how I see what it's all about. Then I might want to get into the groove of the melody, but I like to read the words to see what they're saying. So, once again, the first song was Green Eyes. Second song was Time's a Wasting. The last song was Bag Lady, and that is from Erykah Badu's album entitled Mama's Gun. All right, it's interesting, isn't it? And I never heard her even talk about Mama's Gun in the entire album, so that's a figure of speech. Okay. Now, I used Rider Waite, and the question I asked for Rider Waite, which also, again, you guys, if you've listened to my previous messages, then you already know how I do it. I kind of tend to do 4 cards, then 4 cards, and 4 cards. And it's not a clarification, it's a story. That's how guardian angels have advised me to give these messages. And if the day comes where it changes and they have me actually like clarify it, then that's how I'll do it. But for now, it's like phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 of a story. And actually later on, I do clarify one of the cards, so we'll get to that. But I'm just giving a preliminary explanation. So I asked the guardian angels, what's the overall highest message as it relates to your romantic love? The first card out is the High Priestess, which is associated with strength, self-love, self-discovery, inner knowing, and spiritual insight. Sounds great. Here's more of the background for the High Priestess. She is a woman who makes and let me stop real quick. Whether it says woman, man, no matter what the image is, it's not necessarily referring to the gender. We all have feminine energy and masculine energy within us. Each and every being walking this earth has both of those dual energies. So don't take, woman or man literally. All right. Now, the High Priestess. She is a woman who makes plans for her highest good rather than what others want. The High Priestess knows the answer and the right thing to do. This tells me that you have gone within and have come out with an answer you are confident with. You've discovered that you both are on different levels. Actually, you've already known that, but you're accepting it now. Knowing and accepting are 2 different things. And it's good to accept it, okay? Sometimes accepting the truth can be the hardest thing to do, or accepting reality can be the hardest thing to do sometimes. So congratulations to you. These levels are referring to the speed of growth. It could be spiritual, financial, or maturity levels. Bottom line for this High Priestess is that she's finally accepted who she is in all her glory. From that, she realizes that she deserves better. Next up is 8 of Cups. You thought long and hard before you walked away. You've reflected on how many chances you've given your partner. You have put in plenty effort to make this relationship work. You have had a glimpse of your future together. If you stay, and you decided after much consideration that you must walk away. And you can see you had patience. You can see it right here, putting all of the cups and balancing them like that refers to how long it took you to think about it and, mull it over, the consideration, you know, um, each and every complex part of it. It took you a while before you decided to walk away. This is something that wasn't rushed. This was not a rushed decision, which is the point that I'm making. Even though, your partner may say, hey, you're going to leave me just like that. You're just going to up and leave just like that. Eight of Cups is showing in this imagery it was not rushed. It takes patience to balance those cups up there like that. Patience and time, effort. You really thought about it and you've come to the conclusion that you needed to walk away. That's what happened. Next up, the reversed Nine of Cups. This is how you view the future of this relationship. You planned a fruitful future with this person and you thought you both had the same goal. You thought you both had a meeting of the minds with the understanding of working towards making your dreams come true. This reverse card says that you no longer see that as the future of this relationship, which is why you walked away, or why you are walking away in the process of walking away. You no longer see that as the future. Here's the energy shot. I like to do energy snapshots, and which is the guardian angels telling me, showing me what your energy is or was during this period of time. So your energy snapshot is reversed Two of Pentacles, okay? And what that means is final decision. You are in the, or were when this happened, in the final decision energy. And as I said, this refers back to you thought about it long and hard and you were going back and forth, and now, you're in this final decision energy. Like, let me make this decision now. The time is up. Thought about it long enough. Here we go. It's already been made clear that you've put in much consideration towards this decision. Some of the things you took into consideration is how much you've invested in this relationship and more of the like. You've correctly realized that no matter what age you are or where you are in life, it's never too late to start over. And you deserve a partner who will invest as much as you do. Someone who's willing to put in the work without the preliminary begging. Hashtag facts. With that being said, after all things considered, the decision has been made to leave the relationship that no longer serves your highest good. Now, when I say that someone who puts in the work without the preliminary begging, you shouldn't have to beg someone to act right. You shouldn't have to beg someone to tell you the truth. You shouldn't have to beg someone to care about your feelings. That's the preliminary begging that I'm talking about. Okay, you need to walk away from that because you deserve someone who doesn't have to be begged to return love to you. Okay, get into it. Here we go. So I asked your guardian angels next how to move forward. What are your next steps? And this is what they told me. You are trekking forward through the storm, but you are not alone. And if you take a look at the picture to the right, those are some deep marks right there. That is someone who was in it deep, but they get known. They get known. And see, and if you really look, see, this is where you guys, I like to look at imagery. Imagery means a lot. I was led to this photo, and like I said, you can look and see that those trekking marks right there, they're very deep. And if you look slightly off to the right, and you see, kind of in the front of your, as if the picture was 3D, you see kind of in the front, small tips covered in snow. Those are the tips of trees. That's how deep the snow is. Okay? That's how deep the snow is, which coincides with these deep trekking marks. You were in there deep, but yet you still manage to leave and get out. Okay, moving along. First card up for how to move forward, next step, is leadership. It's Archangel Gabriel. It is time for you to assume your leadership power and position and lovingly guide others. Leadership. It brings you leadership qualities at this time. Gabriel's name means God is my strength. And this phase describes you as well. Regardless of your background, you have God's strength pouring through you at all times. And if you don't believe in God, then refer to your higher power. But this card is telling you that you have the strength to move forward and you have leadership qualities. Okay? So tap into those leadership qualities and push forward, trek forward, keep trekking it, trek forward. Next, we have outdoors. Archangel Jophiel. Go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. Archangel Jophiel means beauty of God. Jophiel knows that when we spend regular time outdoors, we're cleared of lower energies and naturally have a more beautiful outlook on life. Okay, I'm going to repeat that. When you spend regular time outdoors, you're cleared of lower energies and naturally have a more beautiful outlook on life. Call upon Jophiel to ease your schedule to allow for outdoor time. Yes, right now, during this transition, chances are you're going to be busy. All right? With a lot of little things and some big things when you're transitioning, especially if you're leaving one location going to another, or if you've asked that person to leave your location and go to another. There's still transition in the air. That's what's going on, and you that can cause you to be busy. Okay? This angel is asking you to, and actually offering help if you call upon Archangel Jophiel, offering help to ease your schedule to allow for outdoor time. You can make the time even if it's 10 minutes. Okay? I had someone talking to me before and giving me advice about having a healthy mentality, and they said to go outside and walk every day, even if it's only for 10 minutes. All right. And trust me, now I have built it up to 4 hours I could do. But anyway, however, Corona kind of derailed my plans and stuff. So that wasn't how long I was outside the last time. But moving right along. Next, we have you know what to do. All right. And this is Archangel Uriel. Trust your inner knowledge and act upon it without delay. All right, so basically, you don't have to contemplate anymore. You've already done all of that. We talked about that earlier. You've done it, and you see reality, you accepted reality, so there's no need to sit around and second guess yourself at all. All right, Archangel Uriel message to you specifically in this moment is you are far wiser than you realize, and your inner wisdom has already given you the answers that you seek. Embrace this knowledge and trust it. He goes on further to say, if you're doubtful, ask me to give you clear signs to validate your thoughts and ideas. I can also help you put your ideas into action and make decisions about the next steps to take. Just ask me. And then be willing to work with me by taking action. Archangel Uriel helps to illuminate cloudy situations by lighting your pathway. He usually only lights one step at a time, however. So he'll show you one step at a time, because even though you need to act without further delay, you can't rush it. But he will give you clear signs to validate your thoughts. He will show you the next steps to take, but you have to be willing to take the action. And he will not rush you. He doesn't want you to rush. He will allow you and show you one step at a time for the action that you need to take. All right. So that you may not be able to clearly discern the ultimate outcome of your actions, but you will know what step to take next all along the way with Uriel's help. Now, this was the energy snapshot for this phase, and it's take back your power. So you are in the energy of taking back your power, which is beautiful. Archangel Raziel, use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. Okay? Again, use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. Take back your power with Archangel Raziel. All right? And it says, you are a luminary, a wise person with the energy of a high priestess slash high priest, which is why the high priestess was the very first card out for this reading. But I digress. Now is the time to summon your spiritual strength and power and put your authority into action. Say prayers that speak your intentions. Ask for guidance and signs to shape your manifestations to the highest possible level. All right. Next question that I asked your guardian angels was, for the current status of the relationship, here's where it goes pink. Pink for passion. All right, so the first card out is passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Now, again, I asked for the current status of the relationship. So, it's, saying allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. And you can look at the photograph and see that this passion is referring to intimacy. But then I challenge you with a question. Do they honestly know what brings you joy? And I'm actually talking about like beyond intimacy. And actually, maybe I don't even need to say beyond intimacy. Maybe they don't know what brings you joy even in the intimacy department. I don't know, but you really need to ask yourself that, in or out of the intimacy. Do they honestly know what brings you joy? Okay? So, breaking that statement down is joy of what? Their joy and your joy are different. Have they reduced you to nothing but rolling around in the sheets? Do they honestly know what brings you joy? Or are they only thinking of their joy? Your separation is fresh, and your partner knows that you have certain needs, quote unquote, that they are hoping to fill. Don't let them do that. Stay strong. If you do, you will fall back into the habits of the old you, not to mention rewarding them for their awful behavior. If you allow them to lay down with you, that would halt your progress as well as theirs. This situation is meant for teaching and healing the both of you separately as you progress towards your life goals. Do not look back for any reason, no matter how much you believe you can resist. You are still in the first stage of recognizing that you as a whole and erasing the habit of the us and we. To go in reverse and step backwards could be detrimental. Stay strong, keep busy, take up a new hobby, read a book, become an expert on a certain topic, go jogging, lift weights. Do what you gotta do to get rid of the built up energy, as long as it doesn't involve intimacy with anybody. It's too soon. Okay? Next up, we have free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. And even when I say free yourself, it reminds me of the song from In Vogue where they say, free your mind and the rest will follow. So, keep going down this path of liberation. Free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. When you came to the conclusion that you were leaving this relationship, that was the first step toward taking back control of your life. Your guardian angels are encouraging you to keep going down this path of liberation that brings toward you self discovery, strength, and pure joy. Your angels want you to know they've come along for the ride with you. They are always available for guidance. We're all under the universal law of free will, which means you must ask for the angels' assistance. Once you state your request out loud or in your mind, your guardian angels will be happy to assist instantaneously. View the request for help as the Batman signal in the sky, or more like using the alert button on your home security system. The button you push that brings someone on the line within seconds, ready to unleash the entire SWAT team, from helicopters to rain down justice upon the perpetrator in your humble abode. Yeah, that button. Just know they've been with you during your entire life, including this relationship, and they are offering you help. This experience is meant to be one of growth. As you think back on the relationship, view it as an experience you needed in order to recognize your worth, therefore empowering you to take back control of your life. Next up, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Now is not the time for avoidance. You may feel alone right now. Maybe you feel a little embarrassed for the amount of time and energy you've put into this relationship that didn't flourish. This embarrassment may cause avoidance. Now is not the time for avoidance. Quite the opposite. Allow your friends to help you. Let your intuition lead to which friend you confide in. But nonetheless, allow your friends to show you how genuine they are when it comes to you. After all, you call them friends for a reason. So, the energy snapshot for this is very soon. Clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. My question to you is, are you going forward or backwards? Okay, look at your energy. Look at your energy. Look at that. She's trying to resist the intimacy that is thrust upon her in this photo. But it'll be easier to resist if you just ask yourself, are you going forward or backwards? Like, what do you want to do? So, when this card came up, the music did a 180, changing completely. I felt like I was in a music video with the black and white label for content advisory. Basically, this card is telling me that you are considering accepting the offer of intimacy from this person after you've stated intentions to move on. Allow me to state the obvious. You are not prepared for the problems this quote unquote heat of the moment will drape over you like a winter jacket for Eskimos. We've all been there, done that. Learn from the mistakes of others. It can't be done. Not in an emotionally healthy way. Absolutely not. You can't give yourself to a person intimately that you've loved for years and expect the two of you to jump up, leave, and toss those feelings in the furnace on your way out, never to be seen again. Nope, it doesn't work like that. And you know that, which is why your energy card is telling you to clearly decide. Are you going forwards or backwards? Next up, we get a little dark. And when I say dark, because the name of this deck is Dark Mirror, the purpose that I use it for is to show the shadow sides of a person or a situation. The shadow side is the side that, they don't really show, that you don't really get to see until after a little bit of time. And the dark shadow side is the side that we all have in us, each and every one of us, and it needs to be worked on. It's the more unpleasant side of us. So I used that deck when I asked, how has your partner shown up in this relationship. I use the shadow cards so that we can talk about the shadow, their shadow that you've been dealing with. And it's funny because the very first way that I had phrased the question was, which of their shadows broke the camel's back? Okay. And if you don't know what it means when it says so and so or something broke the camel's back, that's what broke the camel's back. I suggest you Google that phrase. But it basically means that, you're tired of it and can't take it anymore. So let's dive in. First card out, the child I was meant to be. Your partner has a shadow side of unresolved childhood pain that's unfairly projected onto you. The child I was meant to be. This is a person who will sit and listen when you want to have those relationship talks. Although most likely they wait till you threaten to walk out before they listen. That's when they begin to make all the promises to make an effort to work on whatever it is you asked. Okay, so they're going to work on blah, blah, blah. They're going to work on this. They're going to work on that. Whatever it is you asked. They make small attempts soon after, then they coast again. Once you come around and point out the issues again, they begin to point out a little bit that they did do and demand to be praised for that little bit of effort. So, for example, we're breaking down the photo. The woman in this card is presenting a puny plant to you. They won't look away until they get the praise. They feel they deserve for even taking time to pour a little water to grow the tiny plant. They know darn well they lied when they told you they'd work at this relationship. Not only do they want credit for the smallest effort, they expect you to accept it like you always have. But this time around it's different. You are truly fed up. You don't want that puny plant. You want the tree you deserve. And here's the thing, they're stuck in the childhood energy where you play a game and no matter who wins, everyone gets a trophy. Or the kid comes in the house smiling and presents their parent with a dirty old rock they found in the backyard. The parents take one look and right on cue, as if they were actors in a movie, they pretend to be amazed, appreciative, and oh so thankful as they admire the worthless rock. The child gives the rock to his mom and says, "Here, you can keep this as a gift." Now that parent is left with two options as I see it. Number one, put it in a place the child can see, and for the rest of their parental life, whenever someone asks about the dirty old rock sitting on top of the mantle, they must force a smile and pretend like their child is so considerate because he gave me a rock. Or number two, they can explain to their child that the rock belongs outside with nature, not inside the house. Then reassure the child by telling them the next award they earn will go right on top of the mantle. Ask yourself if you want to be stuck accepting the bare minimum from the kid that gave their parents rocks, or do you want someone who reciprocates the effort, time, and consideration that you invest in the relationship? Okay? Now, I've said a mouthful about their shadow side, but there's more. I asked for the energy behind this shadow. So here's the part where this card is clarified. Okay, so the energy driving this selfish childlike behavior is blinded by pain, masquerade, which is mask, and I won't cry for you. Let's go ahead and break these down. Now, as you can see, underneath it is, well, first of all, above I've written a sentence, they are well aware that their actions have caused you pain, which is why they can't look you in your eyes. Get into it, okay? Underneath each card, I give a brief explanation. The child I was meant to be, that's codependence. They're saying, take care of me. Next up is blinded to pain. They're being aloof. They're ignoring they're ignoring you, ignoring your emotions, ignoring the situation, pretending that there's nothing wrong. Second clarifying card, masquerade. That's when they apologize and they give you a fake apology. They're wearing a mask and I'm sorry, I'm so sorry mask. That's fake. And the third clarifier, I won't cry for you. They're saying, what about my pain? Okay, do you see my pain? This woman literally has blood coming from her eyes. It's just so painful, her own pain. And that's redirection. Okay, now let me go ahead and break this down. Blinded by pain, the first clarifier. If they acknowledge your pain, they'd have to deal with their own. They are not willing to deal with their pain, so they pretend not to see your pain. Okay? The second clarifier, apology, the fake apology, under that's the masquerade. When you call them on their bullshit, they don't mind offering up a good old-fashioned apology that's as real as a wooden nickel. The apology is a deterrence. Once they apologize, they get to steer you in any direction they please. Some of this stuff, I know it's starting to sound real familiar. Next up, we have I won't cry for you. What about my pain? They won't cry for you, but what they will do is demand that you cry for them. Yes, bring along your violin. When they open their mouth, begin to play. They're pulling out all the stops right here by presenting their pain in a big way that supersedes yours. They may even muster up some tears long enough to make you cry too. Not for yourself, for them. They steer you away from the real issue by pretending that they are actually opening up to you and sharing their pain. They'll tell you things like, I suffered, blah, 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 blah. That's the reason, blah, 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 blah. Please forgive me, blah, 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 blah. Then they put their heart right in the palm of your hands and ask you to please don't throw it away. Our love is blah, 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 blah. I can't live without you, blah, 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 blah. I need help, blah, 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 blah. Don't give up on me. That's a biggie right there. Don't give up on me. Don't give up on us. I thought you loved me. That kind of stuff. That's manipulation, redirection. Don't fall for it. All right. Next up, we have if they could say one thing to you right now, what would it be? What would it be? I need a little water on this, so I'm going to hit pause for just 1 second. All right. So hopefully during my pause, it gave you a chance to look at what's next. So if they could say one thing to you, if they could tell you one thing right now, what would it be? And when I say right now, I want you to understand that I am referring to the emotional state that you're in as you've listened to all of this information. Okay, because I'm sure there's some confirmation in all of this, and you're feeling, you could be feeling embarrassment, confusion, you could be upset, could be a little anger. You could feel upset about, I'm getting a strong feeling of wasting time, like you feel like it was like wasted time. Um, so what they would say to you right now, if they could say something to you right now, is you are spiritually connected to those you love. Oh, that's beautiful. It's such a general statement that they use to keep you and guilt you. And what we're going to do next, um, is break down the symbolism, the imagery in this photo, because there's a lot. All right, and I feel like it's only fair to break down the symbolism in it, because there's a lot. It's not as simple as just that one phrase. It's funny because this is one of the decks that did not come with a guide. Um, and some of the cards, there's like, I don't know, I think about 30 cards, and it's entitled something with the word soulmate phrases, or something like that. And half of them have intricate, detailed photos on them like this, and then some of them don't have an intricate photo at all, like it's just clouds with one statement, very simple. So since this one came out, and you may not even be able to really see it just yet, how intricate this photo is, but it's very, very intricate. You know, First thing that I noticed was the keyhole in the tree, that is, illuminated, and it looks like a small little river coming down from the tree. But I had to stop myself from looking at this card because I started noticing so many things. So there's actually five things that we're going to talk about. I stopped at five because I felt like, and then I saw more after that, but I felt like I could do a whole hour on this card if I had to. So we're not going to do a whole card or whole hour on this card. Um, but right now, while I have the whole card here, let me tell you. The phrase, you are spiritually connected to those you love, which is what they would tell you right now. They tell you this in order to manipulate you into believing you two are meant to be. They may begin to remind you of all of the synchronicities you all have shared, along with times they've been there for you and when you were there for them. Times when you felt like you couldn't talk to anyone else. Times when they made you feel like they couldn't go on without you because no one understands them the way you do, quote unquote. Things like that. This person uses this trick on you every time. We will break down the imagery to reveal the true meaning behind this phrase. Are you ready? Ready, set, go. So, first, let's talk about the tree with the keyhole. A tree is symbolic of nurturing energies. The keyhole is symbolic of being open to a big change in your life, personality, and new beginnings. Now, I didn't break this one down, and you may not be able to see it, but there's a facial expression of worry on that tree above the keyhole, and it may be related to the snake dragon, which is, to the left of it. Well, actually, they're right, but you're left as you're looking at the picture. But back to just the tree. The tree is nurturing energy. The keyhole is symbolic of being open to a big change in your life and new beginnings. So I view you as the tree, okay? Having a nurturing attitude and a nurturing energy, which of course is what a child wants. Your partner has a childlike energy. Okay, they want to be the child that they were meant to be. You have a nurturing energy. A child needs to be nurtured. All right. Now, your keyhole that symbolizes new beginnings and big change, it's glowing. Okay, it's been activated. All right, and I don't think they want that. So, let's look at this here up closer. Is what's called a snake dragon, and he has a wand. So I looked this up, and also let me say, I don't break down every single small image in every reading, but I'm doing it for this one But the one where I purposefully do break down imagery is called Tales of Tarot, where I will break down the imagery in each of the 78 tarot cards. That's a different series. So even though I'm breaking down the imagery this way, very intricately and in detail on this reading, don't expect it on everyone. But if I feel called to do it, I will. But this is the first time that I'm breaking it down such as this for a your love forecast reading. But I felt like it was really needed because you're dealing with someone who is like this nega. I think I am saying it correctly. It's spelled Naga. The first A has a line over it where, you say the A as an A. It's not ah. So it's nega. So it is a snake with a dragon head and lion forearms, who represents a mystical creature from the underworld with magical powers who occasionally take human form, with potential to be dangerous. Which is something you can relate to because your partner started out one way, then ended in a different way. Okay? Breaking it down further, the underworld is the world of criminals and illegal activities. The wand represents the magic, which is magical powers, as they see it, your partner. Your partner sees it. However, they see magical powers. This comes from their perceived ability to manipulate others. So their magical power is manipulation. The human form perspective is when they shapeshift according to the situation. Basically, they tell you what it is you want to hear in the manner of which you want to hear it. I will speak on the transformation next. So here what's explained is the creature. It's a snake creature with a dragon head and a lion's forearms. He has a magical wand, which represents his manipulation. Okay, that's the magic that he feels like he has. He comes from the underworld. So whatever definition of underworld you may find, and like I said, it includes criminals and illegal activities. And I'm not even going to imply anything there because if it hits you, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. But underworld in general is just a darker world. Like it's just dark. It's ill intentions. They don't have good intentions. So it could just be that. Doesn't have to do with anything with illegal or criminal. They just don't have good intentions, okay? Which of course you can see that through them feeling like their magical power is manipulation. That's not good. And then the shapeshift into human form sometime, that's just to trick you and get you on their side. So let's continue. We have here the sweet little bunny rabbit. Okay? And it says, ironically, it says you love, because I just did close-up pictures in black and white so that we could really take a close look at this. They want you to love that bunny rabbit. They switch, to the bunny rabbit type of, I'm just a soft, cuddly little bunny. I have no ill intentions. The rabbit represents one of the stages of their manipulation tactics. They appear non-threatening and agreeable on the outside, long enough for you to agree to whatever it is they're saying. Ask yourself, how long does your partner remain as a cuddly, soft, huggable bunny? To break the imagery down even further, notice the tail of the snake is wrapped around the bunny. The bunny can be viewed as bait. Once you go to pick up the bunny, the tail that you don't notice is all of a sudden active and reaches out to grab you. In other words, once you go for the fake persona, then they change back to their selfish personality. Next, we have the little elf peeking out from behind the tree on the left side of the tree. Forest elves hold a magical property to them that makes others start to like them unconditionally. This person is using the soulmate, quote unquote, line to make you accept them unconditionally. To them, unconditional love means you must not just look past, but accept their selfish behavior. Accept them as is, which means they will remain blinded to your emotional needs, so accept it. Love in their mind means you will accept however they treat you if you love them. If you love them, you'll accept that they'll place you last on the list of priorities. If you love them, and they're the type that will use that line, if you love me, blah, blah, blah. If you're in love with me, blah, 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 blah. And the way that they use it, and really anytime someone says that to you in an adversary position, and really I can't even think of any other position where it's, you know, good to for that to be your defense. That's a crock of shit. Okay? It's a crock of shit. When you are telling someone your concerns and when you're pointing out their behavior and they hit you with the, well, if you love me, then you're going to accept it. That's a crock of shit. Moving along. Okay, now here we go on to this werewolf looking thing. Okay? And I'm going to tell you, with the mythical stories of werewolves, they oftentimes go with vampires. And when I looked this up, and it made so much sense to me. When I looked it up, the first thing that came out, like when I looked up, you know, the werewolf in the tree, the human looking like a werewolf in the tree, because look at him. Hopefully you see him by now. This is a humanoid kind of a werewolf in the tree. And I'm not trying to scare anyone, and hopefully I'm not scaring anyone, but I go off of imagery and intuition. And this card came out, and it has this being in the tree, which is just another shadow part of your partner, okay? And it looks as though it's a werewolf, but it has the body structure or whatever and posture of a human, but you know, you can see it has hooves down there, you know, for the feet, and it looks rather muscular, and it has arms where his right arm, which for us looking would be the left, is gripping a hold of the tree at top. The left arm, which for us would be the right side, is gripping the bottom. Looks like he has a tail. You can clearly see his eyes. They're kind of diamond-shaped eyes with pointy ears, and you can see his nose, and then you can see his muscular body, his muscular torso, and thighs. So it looks like a humanoid. So the werewolf, like I said, goes hand in hand with vampires. And what I got out of this, which made a lot of sense, and it will to you too, I'm sure, that represents his energy vampireness. Energy vampire. Okay? And he's sleek with it. I feel like the reason why it didn't come as a vampire, because vampires ain't hanging out in trees and being slick and blending in with the dark. Vampires don't do that. So werewolves, and of course this is all mythical, but werewolves do. It's symbolic is what it is. All right? I am not saying that your person is a vampire or a werewolf. That is not what I'm saying. And if you're that silly to believe that that's what I'm saying, please exit. Okay? Exit up off my page, because I'm not saying that. This is all symbolic. And as I stated before, I speak about the symbolism and the intuition and everything in my Tales of Tarot, where I break down the Rider Waite with all of the symbols and intuition and things like that. So, continuing on, let me explain energy vampire. Energy vampires are people who sometimes intentionally drain your emotional energy. They feed on your willingness to listen and care for them, leaving you exhausted and overwhelmed. Energy vampires can be anywhere and anyone. They can be your spouse or best friend. This energy vampire has grown big and strong by sucking the energy out of you. Your partner can't even imagine what that would look like to release their energy source. You are their energy source. The good news for you is that you don't need their permission to be released. Okay, get into it. You sing the truth, and you are strong enough to walk away and begin anew, leaving that energy werewolf vampire hanging in the tree right where you left them. Okay? Guardian angels wants me to tell you to let them be. Whoever they talk to next is not your responsibility to warn them. Keep it pushing. There's nothing to see here. So whoever he talks to next, whether you know him, I'm getting the feeling that you might know him or heard of him or suspect it, something like that. Leave him be, because it's not your responsibility to go out and try to warn everybody about his or her characteristics. Okay. I'm just feeling like it's a masculine energies, which is why I said his, but it could very well be a woman. It does not matter. Okay. So basically, this is a card of manipulation. All right. Overall, this is a card of manipulation. That's what's going on. All of these symbols, all of which different ways that this person shows up in your life whenever need be, that's a card of manipulation, because all you want them to be is just themselves. Okay, they don't have to show up as a werewolf. They don't have to show up as a cute little bunny rabbit. They don't have to show up as a little tiny wood elf. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't have to show up as the snake dragon. But I feel like the snake dragon is actually who they are. You know, and they got their wand, their magical wand of manipulation. So this last picture of the werewolf, represents the energy vampire. Their purpose is to drain you out of your energy. All right. And then they're good. They need looking after. They need caring. You know, they need all of that from you. And they get all of that from you by way of manipulation. And once you give all of your care and attention and time and effort to them, they're happy. They feel good. And they go on out, you know, to hug the world and leave you sitting there drained. Do you understand how that's so wrong? Very wrong. So, moving on. We have the angel number message tile 591. So, in case you're new and have no idea what this is, your angels communicate with you all the time through numbers. I, Indigo Sage, have created angel number message tiles. I choose them in the same manner as I choose the tarot cards and oracle cards for the message. They come out, I do it with every message, and they come out with a message related directly to the message that I've previously given during this session. And it's kind of like a summary type of thing. All right. It's what your angels specifically want you to know. Your guardian angels are specifically speaking to you in regards to this message. All right. So first I'm going to give you the bullet points, and usually after just the bullet points, I refer you guys to Google to look up angel number message 591, because they are very long and extensive, and there's a lot of information you can get from it that may relate specifically to you. Because if you want a specific message for you, you'd have to contact me for a personal reading. But you can look up the number. You can just Google that angel number message. But today I have a nice surprise for you guys. I'm going to give you a little bit more. So here I'm going to let you know what the bullet points are of the message 591 from your guardian angels. Learning life lessons through experience. Breaking free from restraints. Making positive life changes. Divine wisdom. Leading by positive example. Allow your light to shine brightly to illuminate the way for others. Okay. To illuminate the way for others, that sounds like leadership to me. I love this message. It was just so positive. And the breaking free from restraints. Okay? They talking about this relationship. All right. Furthermore, your guardian angels ask you to trust the messages you are receiving intuitively, as they are guiding you towards making positive life changes that will assist you with your divine life purpose and soul mission. Your angels support and encourage you to make necessary life changes and are with you every step of the way. Angel number message 591 may suggest that sweeping positive changes are ahead of you, and you are asked to let go of the old with love and gratitude in order to make room for the new to enter your life. Okay? You've got to let go of the old to make room for the new. Point blank, period. Be assured that these life changes will have long-term positive effects on many levels. Your guardian angels want you to know you may face obstacles or sorrow, confusion, or disillusionment, but these feelings are only short phases in your life and serve you as experiences to grow and learn from. Okay? Now, I always like to end my empowerment messages, no matter which one, whether it be a special one like this one, your love forecast, or my regular one, the regular empowerment messages. I like to end them with a poem, a quote, or a phrase. And so this one is a quote. When people show you who they are, believe them. That's by Maya Angelou. When people show you who they are, believe them. Which brings me to this card. This is my first time in a reading doing something like this, but I was led to do it, so I did it. Your angel, your guardian angels wants you to ask yourself, does this person belong with this person? Seriously. You are represented by the High Priestess, knowledgeable, intuitive, does what's best, leads people. She does the right thing, knows the right thing to do. She does the right thing. That's you. And on the right side is them. Trying to guilt you into staying with them, taking care of them, and caring more about them than you do about yourself. But they're using tricks and manipulation in order to do it. So many tricks and manipulations in that picture. And it's funny because if you look at it, it has a little bit of light. The them picture with the snake dragon, it has a little bit of light where it says the words you are, which is on the left. There's a little bit of light. But then, and that's the only place where there's like light on these words. Then as you ease your eyes to the right of the card, where it says connected to those you love, completely dark. Coincidence? I think not. You are of the light. They are of the dark. That's what I'm getting. Okay? So, there you have it. My sages, my sages, my sages. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, please click like and subscribe, especially if it resonated with you. What that will do is put you in the algorithm of YouTube, which will make the video pop up for others, and hopefully I'd be able to help others as well as helping you. And to the right of the screen, there should be 2 videos suggested for you, just for you, that will pop up. All right, enjoy your week and please remain to be safe. Thank you and bye-bye.